The Evil Within 2 was an extraordinarily interesting and creative endeavor. A lot of people have fallen in love with the universe of the original and the second game, with the original being hailed as having some of the best DLCs ever made for a survival horror. A lot of people have been requesting and thriving for The Evil Within 3 to have any development plans announced for it, or even some Evil Within 2 DLC. Fans were even thrilled when Bethesda updated the Evil Within 2 game with a first-person mod, as well as other variations that they added, which hinted at the fact they had not forgot about the game. There are also a lot of loose ends left in the universe. Ruvik is still alive. Nicole Kidman at the end of the game said her journey wasn't over, implying that she knew something that she hadn't told Sebastian. STEM rebooted itself in some old system in a facility in a location that we're not aware of. There are various factors here that could lead to DLCs, sequels, and much more. However, Tango Gameworks has been completely tight-lipped about anything related to the projects. So what are the chances that The Evil Within 3 or any other content would come to fruition? In this video, we're going to divulge, inspect, and look at those elements. For us to realize what the chances are for any Evil Within content, we first have to delve into Tango Gameworks itself. Currently, they are working on a game called Ghostwire Tokyo, an interesting project that shows quite a different universe than anything we've currently known to come from Shinji Mikami. This is the current project, and it was initially released at TGS. However, a few months after its initial announcement, the creative director did leave the project, which was quite worrying. Looking into any commentary, there was no real reasons given, but one can only imagine that there must have been something behind the lines that was unsatisfactory. It also comes at a very striking momentum, as the creative director was Ikumi Nakamura, a very well-known individual that has high energy, spirits, and advertises and controls projects extremely well. Her talents are not to be underestimated, so for her to leave the team is quite a huge loss, leaving a lot of people wondering if the project had maybe even been cancelled. However, the game does seem to be getting updates on its Twitter and other various formats, so we'll just have to wait to see on that revelation. But it does seem to be the primary project of Tango Gameworks at the moment. Now, there is another element that we have to consider that is very influential, which is Bethesda's obvious publishing support and funding of Tango Gameworks. Bethesda has basically been the publisher, sponsor, and funder of anything that Tango and Shinji Mikami has wanted to develop. That includes The Evil Within 2, Ghostwire Tokyo, and any other projects that may be under current development. However, as many people may know, recently Bethesda was acquired by Microsoft Corporation for a large sum of money, which comes into the billions. Ignoring the blatantly large amount of money spent, it is obviously relevant, as Bethesda again was the primary funder and also the publisher of Tango Gameworks and all of their relevant development projects. Microsoft's acquisition is going to impact everything, but is that in a good or a bad way? Let's discuss. As you can see from the title and description of this article, as well as comments from Phil Spencer in various interviews, Microsoft's acquisition of Bethesda is not going to affect a few things. So Ghostwire Tokyo is still going to be, at least for now, a timed PlayStation or outright exclusive PlayStation 5 game, meaning it will not be coming to the Xbox consoles. And this is very surprising considering Microsoft has the right to rip all of that away. However, that leads us to know two things. First, Microsoft is now owning Bethesda and is aware that they have influence over Tango Gameworks and their current IPs, which does include The Evil Within. And number two is they have a development company as a subsidiary working for them that is doing nothing but making a PlayStation 5 exclusive at the moment. And Microsoft has obviously much more money than Bethesda if they just bought the company, meaning they could fund another game and develop and advertise it much better than ever before. Now, The Evil Within 2 had a very poor sales reception. There's no way around it. I made a video previously covering all the information and details as to why this happened. However, this little Google summary is quite correct and simplifies a lot of the elements. However, Microsoft is quite known for funding, rebooting, and also publishing series that have had quite a rocky history, and again, they have Tango Gameworks working as a subsidiary for them right now, doing nothing but working on a PS5 timed exclusive. If I was Microsoft, and I'm sure many people would agree on this, with the new edition of the Xbox coming up specifically, I would want to enhance the development team and make The Evil Within 3 better than any other survival horror game in the recent decade, and make that an Xbox exclusive, which is why I think the chances of The Evil Within 3 have prominently increased since Bethesda has been sold, as before that I felt quite nihilistic to the opportunity of any further content ever being developed. Now, another thing we're going to have to consider is that Microsoft isn't going to want to risk it with too many new IPs when The Evil Within already has quite an established fan base, and Shinji Mikami is quite a master when it comes to survival horror production. I would imagine that in the future we might be seeing The Evil Within 3 come to PC as well as Xbox as an exclusive, which is unfortunate for PlayStation users of course, but is great for the series overall, as I do believe this would be the most tactful and strategic decision that could be made. So what information have we learned in this video? Tango Gameworks is currently working on a PlayStation 5 timed exclusive called Ghostwire Tokyo. This was previously being published and completely funded by Bethesda Gameworks. Bethesda Gameworks was then acquired by Microsoft Corporation that has a huge rivalry with obviously Sony and PlayStation. Now, this rivalry is interesting as Tango Gameworks, that is working for Bethesda and therefore Microsoft, is currently only working on a PlayStation 5 timed exclusive, meaning that Microsoft now has to decide what to do with those resources and that development team. Now, considering again Shinji Mikami is an extremely talented individual that has shaped survival horror history, it would be a waste to let his talents go and just let the entire company dissolve. The odds are obviously speculatory at best. We do not know whether The Evil Within 3 will come out, whether Tango Gameworks will be dissolved after Ghostwire Tokyo. We have no real information as everything is quite secretive, and when it comes to the fundamental information that's important, we don't really have anything to go on. And this is what's very interesting. However, I'm sure many people would agree with me when I say if Microsoft did fund an Evil Within 3 sequel, added a hell of a lot of good developers to the team, and made an extremely good advertisement campaign, which was one of the downfalls as why The Evil Within 2 sold badly, that the game would be phenomenal and beloved by all, and could even lead into further games down the line. So now we'll just have to wait to see what Microsoft will do. Now, usually I would leave these videos on a positive, hypothetical, theory crafted or speculatory note, but I'm not going to do that this time. I'm gonna leave that to the audience yourselves. What do you think is going to happen? There's a lot of evidence to suggest many possibilities. Many things could happen in the future. What do you think is going to occur? Let me know below. This is AvidExpert signing out. Have an absolutely beautiful day.